The Jim and Terry Show, finding that edge in the distorted guitars and the beats that drive us to talk about, this time, music. And I know there's at least one person listening when I... Music?
Message to Bobby. Message to Bobby.
Is that a new song? Message to Bobby. Yeah, we're going to talk about music because I found, and this came up in one of my social media feeds, I follow this guy, so I guess that's why it popped up. But this one is not your average video. This to me had a life lesson and a story about perseverance and about direction and passion, all of these things. The artist that I'm talking about is Rick Beato. The guy is a major force in music, but he's doing these online workshops and informational videos, discussion with musicians who are successful themselves. He's a success. And his message in this video, and I just played it for my good friend Jim, it's an encouragement to all of us who have struggles in life and wonder, what's it all about, Alfie? Or Jim or Terry or whoever. What's it all about? So what did you learn from that little thing?
Oh, I love it. A little bit of I mean, I think we all think deep inside we would like that victory, because this man who was rejected, told by his guidance teacher that your marks are too low, you're never going to be accepted into college ever. That's just the way it goes. And then he decided to, he saw some friends talking about auditioning for music college. He failed, went in and failed because he didn't read the stupid form properly.
Perhaps he was dyslexic, Jim.
And then after he got he had an opportunity to go to a college where he could be a runner, but then he went back and auditioned after he figured out what exactly it is he needed to do. Long story short, he ended up playing, taking a course in guitar. And the guy discovered he said, I really like bass. And the guy said, you should be taking a master's in bass. So he took a master's in bass, and then he took a master's in guitar. Well, this guy's very successful. I believe that is his studio, and I'm looking at $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 each guitars, and probably 20 of them lined up. And I see stacked Marshall amplifiers.
Yes, I
all
see
out
those in the back.
Yeah, and an ambiance that's just gorgeous in the studio. And he told the story of running into the guidance teacher that told him he'd basically never be anything. And he says, I'm actually substituting teacher here right now, substituting for the orchestra.
Yes.
So he's conducting the orchestra. So, wow, success story, eh?
It is, and to me, it's the success of overcoming the bad news and not allowing the system to define who we are. He knew he loved music. He was involved in the orchestra as a bass player in high school.
Yeah.
Okay. Does that mean you're going to be successful? No, but he had something. He had maybe the Jewish word chutzpah.
Well, I've seen him
guts.
I've seen him dissect many a guitar riff and bass riff, and he can seems like he can dissect and play anything. And he knows all of the flats, major quadruples, and everything you need to do. He knows drums and everything, too. So he's a real good producer, apparently. I mean, I don't know what he would charge to produce a record, but
I don't know either.
It'd be interesting to find out who. I bet you big names. I bet you he's produced. You should look at that.
We could. And we can do that during break.
Anyways, I have a dream.
Oh, what's your dream?
I've always had a dream.
Okay.
Usually it's in a beautiful sunny patio scene. I've got a drink looking over the ocean, and a great, great song comes over. And I'm at a table with people who think the song is absolutely wonderful, and they don't know I'm the writer.
Well, I guess as songwriters and musicians, we always dream those kinds of thoughts.
And not tell them, tell them. Just, it's good. What do you do? Not much. I'm kind of retired.
Drinking pina coladas.
Yeah.
Okay, the story of Rick Beato is interesting to me. Partly because I identify with that. He was a bass player in the high school orchestra. I was a cello player. He was first desk. I was first desk. He went on. His passion took him to these extreme ends where he self-taught, self-learned, found teachers who would teach him, and then reapplied and did auditions. I didn't have that. I stopped at that level where I was going to decide fine arts and decide cello as a career musician, and I couldn't see myself playing a cello in an orchestra for the rest of my life, or in a quartet or anything else.
You have a studio. So I know a way that two dreams can come true.
Yeah.
I'll write the song, you produce it,
There you go.
and then I'll interview you in your better studio than this, because now you've made money. And we'll talk about how your career
making money off-
skyrocketed.
You and I have this one. Well, we have many things in common. I'll throw this one in. Money is not our issue.
No,
We-
I know. Oh, no, because we have so
We
much
have-
of it.
we-
It's just rolling.
We have none to worry about.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
there you go. That's what we share in common. The story of Rick Beato is not just personally resonating with me because of parallel paths, but it's because he didn't allow Now, I'm not going to blame the guidance counselor.
The guidance counselor's got to tell you what he's got to tell you.
That's right. So your SAT score, your aptitude test is going to be what it is. And that depends on your day. You and I, on any given day, we have our good days and we have our medium and we have our ones where you better not get out of bed. It's the same for kids writing these aptitude tests. On
He was
any
playing in a
given
bar
day.
that night or
That's
something.
right. He was making an income,
Yeah,
getting
yeah.
experience, doing what would be his life. So his scores did not turn out well, but that does not define us. Our scores do not define us. Unless, of course, you're going to medical school, in which case we do want your scores to define you.
Yes, that would be important.
Yes, I want to see a doctor who did graduate medical school and who was a specialist, who's very keen and paid attention, did not sleep in class.
Yeah, well, we've heard many stories of people. I remember listening to a guy talk a lot. I think he had grade 3 education. He was a multimillionaire. We can't write anybody off.
No.
Because what we set as standards, I mean, in this guy's case, I mean, he knows music. This guy knows it. But the story could have turned anywhere, that he apprenticed under a plumber and ended up building a big plumbing industry. We have all kinds of stories like that out there, where sometimes it's even people in the financial world that remember there was a Apple on TV. I think it was City TV or something, and he got busted. I think he's back, but he used to give advice financially, and he didn't have a license.
Wow.
I think it was him. I might be
Okay.
wrong, so never mind the name.
Okay, ignore the name.
Ignore the name.
Okay.
But there was somebody, and he just had this calm personality, and they would go to him in headphones on and everything, and he'd talk about the market.
Right.
This is what you can do. And then eventually, it turned out he didn't
Didn't
know
have
it.
a degree.
Yeah. Now I think he was making money and everything in there, but the employer assumed he had a degree or something.
So
and
you
he
do
didn't.
need a paper trail at some point if you're going to rely on your expertise. But, he didn't need to be on TV giving out the advice. He could have done it elsewhere.
Yeah.
Podcasting. Don't need a degree to do that.
Nope.
So he could still be doing it. For me, the other story about this Rick Beato is that stick-to-itiveness. He didn't give up.
No.
I abandoned music as a career path, but I found another path that did create passion for me, and that was in education and in teaching kids. So that, you find your passion. And for you,
Slothness.
your passion was slothfulness.
and I've achieved a lot in that area. Yes, I have.
Yeah, okay. No, I would say your passion is in your belief system, your faith, and it's in helping others.
Yeah.
Those are the two areas.
And I guess my reliability as just a flat employer, just an employee.
Reliable.
An employee, yeah.
So that's important, reliability.
I guess, sure.
I want my car to work.
But
I
on the
want
other
my
end, here
employees
I
to
am
work.
retired, and I'm really not wanting for anything.
No,
So
a
I'm
better
pretty happy.
microphone, bigger studio, and coffee that's fresh. The Jim and Terry Show signing
Yeah,
off.
oh yeah,
Bye
oh
for now.
yeah.